Want an electric car with personality and one that doesn't break the bank? Well, I give you Exhibit A, or maybe Exhibit I for Italian. Contrary to misinformation, electric cars are becoming more popular. America's gas stations may look like this many years from now, not anytime soon though. EVs don't mean a sterile dystopian future, at least if Fiat has any say. The second generation 500e is bigger and better with personality that would overflow the Colosseum. Chances are the ghost of Sergio Marchionne would actually encourage people to buy this one. Its range is EPA rated at 149 miles, low for some, perfectly fine for others, because the Cinquecento is a city car. This is its natural habitat. Behind its happy face, there's seating for four. More on that later. Normally, the automakers give us loaded cars to test. This is a base model, and with shipping goes for just over $34,000. If you're buying, it does not qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit, but it does if you're leasing. Ironically, this inspired model, get it, comes in a choice of paint colors, white, black, and of course red, while the more expensive Inspired by Beauty is only in rose gold, Inspired by Music, just black. The single option on any of them is summer performance tires. Fiat says they only come one way and implies all versions will be special editions of sorts. Smitten with a color or trim? Don't wait to pull the trigger. It may not stick around long. Bono, that Bono will be happy if you buy this one. Money generated by red goes to the Global Fund, which helps to end deadly pandemics. 500e has been slipping into tight parking spaces in Europe for 2 years now, so any kinks should be ironed out. Its closest competitors are the Mini Cooper SE and Volvo's upcoming EX30. Time for another edition of Frunk or No Frunk. Any bets? No Frunk. And looks like there's a little bit of room. There's no doubt 500e is built in the land of pizza and tiramisu. What a sweet bunch of Easter eggs. The Bay has hints of hot dog and apple pie. There's no engine oil to check. A prop rod could have saved some money, no? Here's what moves the 500e. The 17-inch front wheels are turned by a permanent magnetic motor making 117 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque to move 3,000 pounds of car. All-wheel drive is not a thing. Batteries are included. The US only gets the larger 42 kilowatt-hour pack. Its max charge rate is 85 kilowatts. The ignition startup tone is as cute as the car. Shutdown? Serious jeopardy. Boom, boom. It's close. 500e is straightforward. For a fun car, it has a small cluster that's all business. The transmission is single speed, love the big buttons. There are 3 drive modes. Range adds regeneration drag. Sherpa is for squeezing out maximum range, partly by capping speed at 50 miles an hour. 500e doesn't have the performance of a Porsche Taycan Turbo. It'll dart to 60 miles an hour in about 8.5 seconds. But it is an electric vehicle with lots of low-end torque, so it feels kind of punchy off the line. Neighbors will know exactly when you hit 20 miles an hour because at that point, the 500e belts out a little tune. Not sure if you can hear this. They might think the ice cream truck is coming. It doesn't deliver espresso shot jolts if acceleration like that is important, but it feels perky at city speeds, always ready for a good time, and would keep teens out of trouble. Top speed is 94 miles an hour. Driving dynamics? The 500e is Miata-grade fun. Remember, heavy batteries in the floor, a low center of gravity. It's fun to chuck into corners.
The suspension is firm, but never uncomfortable. That means body motions are well controlled, and the steering weight is about perfect, even a little bit of road feel.
The short wheelbase means choppy pavement can cause some bucking at certain speeds, and while the 500 is considered a city car, highway driving at 75 miles an hour shouldn't stress anyone out. It's even moderately quiet. Range and charge speed might keep this from long-distance travel. Comfort shouldn't.
From behind the wheel, this never feels like a tiny clown car. The vibe is actually surprisingly spacious, and the seating position is high enough so that you won't feel intimidated in heavy traffic.
On tight urban streets, it's more relaxing to drive a compact car, no worrying about shearing the side view mirrors off. It scores parking spots that Honda Civics have to pass up. It's the ultimate grocery getter, meant as a compliment, and you won't see this EV coming and going. It has personality. Did I mention it's nimble?
Do U-turns all the time? Watch this. Absolutely brilliant.
That's a pretty standard two-lane road, around 32 feet wide. No sweat.
The average range is rated at 149 miles, and in mixed driving, with temperatures in the mid-50s, low 60s, I'm pretty much nailing that. Now, on the highway, you're probably going to lose 30 miles when you're traveling over 70 miles an hour, but you know, this is a city car. That's its mission, and it does it really well.
All the information for making good decisions is front and center, nothing complicated. Playing with the modes gives drivers an idea how much range can be added or subtracted. They can't be customized, though.
In normal mode, this drives and brakes like a regular car. Throw it into range mode, that adds a lot more recuperation drag, so there is a one-pedal driving dynamic if you want it. My foot was never on the brake. It came to a complete stop. Also, the dynamic of the brake pedal going from recuperation to the hydraulic brakes is pretty much seamless. Throw it into Sherpa mode for maximum range, and it shuts down the HVAC system, plus reduces power significantly, making this car pretty slow. The good thing is, if you need speed right away, there's a click at the bottom of the throttle travel. Push through that, and you get maximum speed again.
EVs aren't for everyone just yet. The best experience requires charging where you sleep. This can be DC fast charged, but a top speed of 85 kilowatts means it would take 35 minutes to hit 80% charge on a spent pack. Fiat throws in a free home charger or $600 worth of charge credit on the free-to-move network.
Using 240-volt level 2 charging, the 500e will juice up from 5 to 100% in about 6 hours. Using 120, it's closer to 37. But here's the thing, those who only travel 30 to 40 miles a day, that will work for them because, one, it eliminates the expense of installing level 2 charging, and second of all, you can always go to a DC fast charger if you need a quick battery top-off.
For what it's worth, this car seems to charge faster than Fiat claims, going from 10 to 100% in just over 4 hours, pulling 40 amps. Things are clean and simple inside. Kudos to Fiat engineers for carving out space in a small car. Little details, too. The more expensive, inspired by models get a textured panel here, plus heated seats with synthetic leather. Adjustment is manual. Red editions will leave your bottom cold. Cushions are firm, in a good way. The cloth is breathable and advertises the brand. This 6-speaker audio system is average. Hope the upgraded JBL system in other 500s is punchier. Looking for the door release? If the power goes out, here's a backup. Sadly, no sunroof is available, at least for now. I've driven significantly larger cars with fewer storage spaces, helped by a flat floor, a good amount of stuff stashes away in here. Also, umbrella pockets. Ironically, we don't use those in Seattle. It's a pride thing. The only cup holder is here. Quite a reach for your cappuccino. Being a Stellantis product, there's the latest Uconnect user interface. The 10.25-inch screen is also found in Alfa Romeo's Tonale. This is a solid system overall with good response. All 500es get auto climate. Notice there are physical buttons. Thanks, Fiat. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless. Use apps to find charging stations in a pinch. A phone charge pad is standard across the board.
It shouldn't be any surprise that room is kind of tight back here. It's a small car. I'm 5'9" and I have like a finger's worth of headroom. The cushions are low and short, so thigh support isn't all that great. But I am surprised that there's adequate knee, leg, and foot room for my 32-inch inseam. There's a cup holder, but that's about it for features. No USB ports to charge phones, no seat back pockets, no adjustable vents, certainly no climate zone. The real test is, will your friends get an Uber or will they ride back here? I would ride back here, but I'm cheap. Frugal. I'm frugal.
Fiat says 2 is an important number for the 500. Generation 2 is 2 inches longer, 2 inches wider, with 2 inches of additional seat travel. Tall people can drive this car. The design is simple, elegant, classic, with nothing tacked on. People love the look. I get it. It's adorable. These look like the Time Tunnel. It's a TV show in the 1960s. Look it up. And eyebrows. Monochromatic, it almost looks like the car is dunked in Plastidip. Some cars twice the price and size have half the attitude. And 500e is bought online with the help of a Fiat genius. Shades of Apple there. Theoretically, that helps with the good vibes.
It's never a good sign when I ditch the flatbed of TP for a regular shopping cart. Should be expected. This is a small vehicle.
There's some storage under here, room for a travel charge cord. Even with 17-inch wheels, there's no room for a spare, just a repair kit. Dropping the seats is a cinch. It sure would be useful if the front passenger seat folded flat to carry really long things. As it is, the rear seats have a large lip, and that reduces practicality. Now, eyeballing it, I figured 3 packs of softness and absorbency might fit in back. At only 7.5 cubic feet, that's optimistic. It's a small boot. Even with just a couple packs of the 2-ply, the hatch needs a healthy push. Time for red light, green light. Green light. 500e is Italian design as classic as the Mona Lisa. The driving dynamics are good for a grin, especially snaking through tight urban streets. For a small car, the front passenger space is roomier than expected. Physical buttons and a good interface make this easy to use. Yellow lights. The simplified online buying is appealing, but models lack option choices. In everyday driving, 500 feels spunky. It's no Abarth, though. 149 miles of range is all that's needed for its city car mission. People will still want more. Red light. You'll have to locate a dealer to pick one up, which might be at a Chrysler store or Dodge, maybe Alfa Romeo. Best of luck there. A small car means a small back seat. A small car means a tiny trunk. Duh. I think many owners will just keep the back seats dropped. Complaining that the 500e doesn't have 400 miles of range is like criticizing Simone Biles for not placing in the marathon. She's good at what she does. So is the Fiat.
500e isn't for everybody, and it's not supposed to be. It's a terrific city car and cute as a plush toy in yellow. I think this thing would look exactly like Pikachu, to the point where Nintendo would probably sue over copyright infringement.
This car is simply too small for some, if only because people feel safer with more metal around them for protection. But for the few that like to wear their cars like a jetpack, the Fiat 500e shows the future of EVs can be a blast. One thing I forgot to mention, some automakers say that EVs mess with the AM radio signal and have eliminated the tuner. To that, Fiat says, hold my Chianti.
Real quick before I go, I have a buying service, and if you use it, it helps to support this channel so I can do more great car reviews. The information is right there. I'll also put a link in the video description. That makes it easier. And you're here at the end, so I'm assuming you enjoyed the video. Sign up to this channel, okay? Do it now before you forget. Really, this should have over 1 million subscribers. Everybody tells me that. Also, if you have a question, leave it in the comments or find me on social media. Thanks for watching. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.